my god, we just got out of the Pet Sematary screening. We just saw it in the back of the actual cemetery. I'm still in the cemetery right now. I am gonna need a whole new pair of underpants, but we just saw it and we're gonna let you know what we thought about it just after this. So if you love movies, you love talking about movies, you've come to the right place. Here at Movie Nerds, that's all we do. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a like. And let's get into this. So Pet Sematary is the remake of the Stephen King novel. It came out in the 80s and now we've got it again in the 2000s with things slightly changed. It stars John Lithgow and Jason Clarke in the main role, and it basically is the storyline of a new family moving from the Boston, the big city, into the country and kind of living it out and trying to relax and take it easy. But as we know, in Stephen King novels, things don't go easy. Things turn horrific and horrific, and that's where things go. But do they do it well? Well, sort of. The first act is super slow. It starts off when we meet the family, we learn what's happened, we learn why they're here and what they want to do, but very, very slowly we move into the idea that there's a pet cemetery behind their house and what that can do and what that means to the family. Without going into full spoiler mode, we know that this pet cemetery does something, and if you've seen the original, you know what I'm talking about. Usually with Stephen King movies, they're pretty terrifying. Here, I'm not so sure. With It, that came out in 2017, was probably one of the most terrifying horror movies to come out in a while. Pet Sematary, not so much. The concept is cool, but the delivery and the execution isn't so much. Pet Sematary was hell-bent on giving you jump scares after jump scare after jump scare. In fact, I think there was roughly about 10 big scares in the movie, and 9 of them were jump scares. In fact, even 4 of the jump scares came from the use of a truck. And for me, that's just really lazy horror filmmaking. And with great directors like James Wan and Jordan Peele out there at the moment, we really need to see other horror directors lifting their game. Jason Clarke is awesome in the title role as Lewis, but where the acting kind of drops off is his family members. His daughter Ellie, she's okay, but she's definitely no Macaulay Culkin. And because she becomes a bit more of a lead character in the third act, she kind of, for me, is a bit laughable. And that's where the movie kind of goes. The first act is a bit slow, the second act tells you a bit more of the storyline and where we're going to actually head, but the third act is where it all comes together and things are cool, things start getting scary, but for the main idea and the concept for the movie, it falls a bit flat for me and is very kind of slapsticky, is the best way I can put it. The direction of the movie is quite good. The momentum of the horror and the scares is quite great. It's nothing like we've seen with James Wan movies or even the latest It film, but it's still fine. It's not amazingly scary and it won't shit your pants scary, but it is kind of jittery, I guess I would say. Unfortunately, the most scariest thing in the movie isn't even the main storyline. The mother in the movie, Rachel, has a sister that got a disease, and she is kind of terrifying in the movie. And the more you see of her as the movie I kind of wanted to watch, because she scared me shitless. There was a part in the movie that I actually jumped out of the chair and I was verbally loud swearing. But that was only that sequence. The rest of the movie didn't have any of that, and unfortunately for me, it fell a bit flat. If you're a true Stephen King fan and you love the original book, this is very similar to the book. Only slight variations have changed from the story to the movie. But if you were going to compare it from the 1980s movie to this one is far closer to the book. So Pet Sematary, should you see it? Should you not see it? Well, I'll say this. Us is actually out in cinemas the same weekend as this. So if you're into horror movies, into something different, Us is that movie. But if you're into Stephen King novels and you want to see something back on the big screen, then check out Pet Sematary. I'm Ryan from Movie Nerds, and that's our review for Pet Sematary. If you dig the video, make sure you hit the like button, and until next time, I'll catch you nerds at the movies.